Gabos. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I rock with you. If you rock with me, hit the subscribe button. Your boys on the road to 4K. You know what I'm saying? And we out here grinding. Yo, bro, that Packers game was crazy last night. Packers, for y'all to get swept by Jared Goff, I know y'all sick right now. All you Packer fans, y'all sick. Y'all sick. You cheeseheads are rotten cheese. They put y'all down, boy. So the season's over, and I'm about to check out the reaction between Skip and Shannon. Subscribe to the channel. You know the vibes. Let's get right to it.
What's the biggest reason that Aaron Rodgers and the Packers lost this one?
The Lions just flat out outplayed them, Skip. The Lions' desire to keep them out of the playoff was greater than the Packers' desire to get into the playoffs. And you heard them talk about, Skip, that we couldn't go. It's not any fun if we can't have none. Well, we can't go to the playoffs. Okay, Green Bay, you're not going either. We don't want you to say when we get good next year, because this is something to build on, Skip. I think they won like 10 straight, 8, 9, 10 straight ball games. With that being said, I didn't want the Packers to say, you know what, you guys got a head start on the offseason because y'all didn't make the playoffs. Guess what? We're going to start our offseason at the exact same time. We both getting trash bags to clean out our lockers and start the vacation at the exact same time.
One feeling real good about themselves and one not.
The Detroit should feel really good about themselves, Skip. Really good. Skip, the play, 2nd and 17. He throws a jailbreak screen to St. Brown, and guess what? He laddered it to Swift.
That was a great play.
Great play. Skip, that's playing to win.
It was.
On fourth down.
And a couple of y'all asking why I didn't react to the game. Bro, I didn't react to the game because I watched it. You know what I'm saying? I don't typically like watching games and then reacting to them. The game was just too good for me not to watch live. So that's why there's no reaction video to the Green Bay Lions game. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You can check out the highlights your damn self. All right.
No, I haven't saw that. No. Skip, on 4th down, they could kick a field goal, go up 7.
Nope.
Nah, Dan Campbell said,
go for it.
We're driving nail in the coffin right now. Good night, Green Bay. It's over. Green Bay made another mistake. Skip, I don't understand what Quay Walker's thinking.
Yo.
Detroit Medical coming out there trying to get him out the way. You shoved the man? Really? And then you go off the field crying and slinging snot like, what happened? Bro, why would you
slinging snot?
What is he going to do? That's what they normally do. They want you to get back so they can tend to the player. You standing around.
Yo.
75 Wyatt walks up behind the medical personnel and bumps him again. Bro, they did enough dumb things to lose this game. But I'm not so sure, even with that, Skip, the way that the Lions would not go away, the way they played, it's like, guys, and they
slinging snot.
They have to play. They already knew what had happened. Seattle had won. So there was nothing they could do. There was not a scenario in which they could do anything to get into the playoffs. Boy, they approached that like this was for the Super Bowl. This was the NFC Championship game, and this is for all the marbles. They say, I don't care. We're going to win this game. Dan Campbell's methods might be a little unorthodox.
They are.
But this is what we know in Detroit. It works. It resonates. Those guys played
biting kneecaps
for him. And they played a well of a ball game yesterday. And no matter what you think of Jared Goff, I think it still was the right move for Detroit to trade him and get Matthews.
I agree.
Because the Rams got a Super Bowl out of it. It's hard to argue that, Skip.
I know, but they wanted to change the scenery because they were going nowhere with Matthew Stafford.
Right. Okay. And Goff needed to get up out of there because every time something went wrong, they blamed him.
They did.
But Skip, look. And I get all that other stuff about Pack, they lost the foot. Actually, Aaron threw 2 interceptions. They got a hands to the face because they picked him up on the right rail and left rail, and then he said, you know what? Let me go ahead and end the ball game. Is it like Brett Favre?
I ain't going front, bro. I actually thought Detroit was going to get one of the top 2 picks in the league, bro. I think they started off, 0-6? 0-6 and finished 9-8? Nigga, what? Like, I thought they were going to get one of them Heisman quarterbacks. I ain't even going to hold you, bro. So for them to be able to flip that around, number one, it saves Jared Goff's job because he's here. Y'all not drafting a quarterback in the middle of the draft. So y'all get to hone up and at least maybe add a linebacker, another pass rusher, or maybe that offense, it got weapons, bro. That Jameson Williams nigga, he legit. He gonna be legit. He gonna be like a Jamar Chase. So the stock is up on Detroit. I mean, I ain't gonna pause it too much.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Brett Favre last pass in Green Bay, he threw a pick. In the championship game against the Giants.
Well, you see, that's suggesting this.
I'm just saying. He sure was treated like that. We're gonna talk about that because you remember, Skip, the guy asking for his jersey said, "I want to hold on to this one." Because now you and myself and others got to speculate. Was this Aaron's last game? What's going on? He walking arm in arm with Randall Cobb, and then he shoved the camera. No! Don't shove the camera. Because when you was winning these ball games, you was all smug. You was
I told you.
yeah.
I told you.
He was smug. He was cavalier as a mug.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden he don't want the cameras in his face.
No.
When you was winning 4 or 5 games in a row, you couldn't keep the cameras out your face. You doing every interview. You were. If he sit back in his chair all like this here on the back of his show, you know where, you know everybody counted us out. I counted us in, you know.
Yep. I saw it coming.
Yeah, you saw it coming. Did you see that? Did you see that?
All right, I'm going to respond to your first point because it cuts deeply into my story today.
Mm-hmm.
This is how a professional football team is supposed to respond.
Yes.
This is one with a real live head coach that it believes in. As wacky as he can be,
Yes.
sometimes a little bit
They fight.
goofy
They
or,
fight for him.
as you say, unorthodox. They buy.
Yes.
They respond.
Yes.
And they could have quit on him. They could have hung their heads last night and said, oh, well, Seattle won. We're done.
We're done.
And just mailed it in.
That's true. That's true.
And he preached all week, even if Seattle wins, we have a chance to go spoil this party at Lambeau Field
Of course.
on a big Sunday night game. And that's exactly how they responded to that football coach as opposed to the way my
I ain't gonna front.
team did not respond
Skip
to my
called it.
football coach.
Skip called Detroit winning.
Because they
I'll
don't
give him
believe
that.
in him. They pay lip service. It goes in
He's
one
still a
ear and
weirdo.
out the other. And it's please drop the Mike McCarthy. And Dan Campbell is a force. However you define it, he's just a force in that locker room. Maybe they're a little afraid of him in a good way, but they listen and they ignite because of what he says. And he's so emotional. What was his bite? We're going to bite your kneecaps.
Bite. We're gonna bite kneecaps.
They came out last night and they bit Green Bay in the kneecaps all night long because clearly they just played a better football game. They played it because they wanted to win it, as you say, worse than Green Bay wanted to win it. And in the end, it just comes down to this. The leader of the Green Bay Packers is number 12.
Damn.
And I don't believe they buy into 12 anymore. And I'm not saying it's time for Jordan Love because I'm not sure about Jordan Love, even though what I've seen of him, I do like.
Right.
And we're going to get more deeply into this about what's next for the Packers. But you can just see what happens in big games. They don't respond to 12 because right away he threw a couple of balls that should have been caught, and he's given it this. And it's such bad body language. It's so shaming of the young receivers around him. Dobbs, obviously Christian Watson.
Who's going to look like he's going to be a player?
He's going to be a player. He already is
He's
a
like a
player.
player.
He turned into one right before your very eyes. I think Dobbs will turn into one. But the point is, here's the big picture about Aaron Rodgers.
Meanwhile, my
He has
Patriots
now
can't draft
lost
a
3
receiver.
straight home playoff games. The
Damn.
first 2 with the 1 seed, lost to the Bucks, then lost
San
to
Fran.
the Niners.
Yeah.
And then that was basically a playoff
Oh,
game
yeah.
last night. And he lost to a division rival, the up-and-coming Lions. And he did not play well in any of the 3 games. And if you step back, you say, can you trust him in big games? Well, I've never thought you could, except he won that 12-year-ago Super Bowl on that magical road run where they won 4 straight games, including that one at Jerry World. That's all he got. Got to 1 Super Bowl and won it. But in the grand scheme of things, when it's time, you can't trust him. But you can trust that when he blows a home playoff game, he will immediately play the retirement card.
No, of course.
Because he is the greatest media manipulator in the history of this league. He knows exactly how to play the game. If he blows a home playoff game, you immediately, because he's the greatest blame deflecting diva ever, you immediately drop the retirement hint like, I may have to stop. What was the first quote? At some point, the carousel comes to a stop and it's time to get off. So right away, he's going into his retirement spiel because he wants Packer Nation to say, please, Aaron, please come back. We need you back next year. Well, do you really? Because all I got to tell you
That's
is
a good point. I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel about that one.
17 yards passing this year. That was a career low. His QBR average for this year was 39. That was a career low. He threw 12 interceptions. It was the second most of his career. It's un-Aaron, and they kept trying to take the ball out of his hands, and it worked until last night when they just ran into a team that outplayed them.
And the thing is, Skip, he didn't have, in 17 games, he didn't have a single game in which he threw for 300 or more yards.
No, he did not.
Damn.
That's Aaron Rodgers now. That's back-to-back MVP Aaron Rodgers. Skip, I think the thing is, look,
He missed Devontae.
Give the Lions so much credit.
He missed
They
Devontae,
got
bro.
nothing to play for because Seattle has already won the ball game. And it's cold. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever had to do a job when it's cold.
At night.
Man, hold on. You mean to tell me we can't make the playoffs and it's cold? Man, let me go and shut this thing down.
Miserable. It was miserable.
They was like it was in Miami. It was 80 degrees.
Yep.
And they got nothing to play for. They laid it all on the line. Not only for their coach, but for themselves to say, you know what, Green Bay? Enough of this. Skip with the last. I mean, Green Bay had beaten them. What was it? Detroit had lost 27 of his last 30 games at Lambeau Field. I mean,
They just owned them.
they owned them.
Till last night.
And
Yo, y'all think Rodgers dips? Y'all think he get traded? Y'all think he retires? Let me know in the comment section what y'all think Rodgers does after this loss. Because this loss, it's a bad loss, bro. I ain't gonna front. To lose to the Lions, even though the Lions are better this year, they're still Detroit. You know, and to let them get in the way of your championship hopes, to be honest, I think had they won, they would have faced the 49ers anyway. Which I think the 49ers would have smoked them regardless. But still, bro, you had a team that was playing for nothing take you out the playoffs. Sheesh.
you know, we thought it was a fluke. Well, you know, Aaron not threw 3 interceptions. Detroit, and I kept saying, Skip, they're better than you think, especially offensively. They got an offense. Jared Goff and those receivers, Skip, they can make plays. In that running game with Jamal Williams, they get the ball in goal-to-goal situation. The Cowboys situation notwithstanding, he going to fly the ball into the end zone. He going to get in the end zone.
Okay.
And they really creative.
Well, I made the point to you on Friday. Over the last 8 games, Detroit's had the best offense in the league. The best.
Yes.
What? Well, don't sleep on them. And don't sleep on them next year because they just rocket shot into next year.
Yep.
You couldn't have had a better closing game to springboard into next year. They're going to be a force in this division and in this conference.
But Green Bay lost a fumble. They threw an interception. They failed a goal-to-go situation. And Detroit nullified them. Said, no, you're not going to get the ball in the end zone.
Okay, to your points, let's quickly show those who might not have caught the game last night. This is late third quarter, and they're backed up.
They ain't going to show
20.
nothing.
The Packers are at their 16, and Aaron throws an interception that looked like it had changed the game because they were up 16-13. Here it is. And Kirby comes over and snatches it. That was his 3rd of the year. And they get an illegal hands to the face, and it looked like it was
a good call. It was a good call. Good call. Yeah.
I'll give you that. So he gets away with that one because he just thought that was to Aaron Jones, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
Wheel
It
route.
was.
Yep. And he got away with that one.
Well, he stared him down, Skip.
But he didn't get away with the next one because the next one's 3rd and 10 at his 33. This is 3:37 left in the game. And Kirby Joseph finally got him for real because he gets blasted right in the face.
He played center field.
It up, and thank you very much. We got this. The rusher gets free and hits him.
I don't know what he was thinking, Skip. I was like, bro, the game is not over. Hey, get the ball. Keep running.
I know. That is true. But now to your final point. Dan Campbell says, no, it's 4th and 1.
Yeah.
I'm going to step on your throat here.
Yes.
4th and 1 at the Green Bay 15, and they go over and they have a timeout, and they say, what play do we like the most? And they liked one on a little hook to DJ Chark.
Yep.
It goes for 9 yards.
That's crazy. They threw that shit so fast.
Boom.
I kind of froze for a second. I'm like, what the hell? Hold on.
And they are howling to the moon because they deserve to.
Sick.
And they're running off the field waving goodbye to the Packer fans.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Way to go. Way to go, Lions. That did my heart good because that's how you're supposed to
That's what you're
finish
supposed
the
to do.
season.
You're supposed to come in there, let them know we came, we saw, we conquered. Now everybody going home, hey, have a good night. We going home, you going home. Because all that talking, that bravado, I get the camera, we're going to talk about this, get the camera out my face. Why you want the camera out your face now? We couldn't have enough cameras. Fox couldn't send enough camera crews up there to the Lambeau. He wanted to do every sit down. Hell, I thought might want to do my podcast. He wanted to get in front of the camera so much.
I don't think he'd do you.
He probably would, Skip. But now all of a sudden, get that camera out of my face.
Yep.
No. Say cheese. Because the last time you're going to be on camera, and like you, and right on cue, well, all of a sudden, I kind of like my scotch.
Yep.
I kind of like to drink my scotch anytime I want to. And if I'm at practice and if I'm at meetings, I can't do that.
That is true.
Uh-huh.
I do know one of your many nephews who happens to be a Packer fan who would love to see 12 just fade right into the sunset.
He definitely would.
Yep.
Well, he kind of wanted to see it last year.
He did. We wanted to see it earlier this year when they fell to 4 and 8.
Crazy.
That hook and ladder play on 3rd and long, guys, was my favorite play.
Yeah.
of
Dagger.
Friday. The Lions certainly going
Dagger.
into the offseason with some crazy momentum.
I ain't gonna front, man. I might start reacting to some Detroit Lions football next year if them boys is good. I don't think I reacted to one of their games all season. But yo, it's the end of the Green Bay Packers, man. Pack them up, ship them up, prepare for next year. Y'all might start Love, y'all might start Rodgers, who knows? But that was a great NFL Sunday Night Football game. I ain't gonna hold you. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I rock with you if you rock with me. You know the vibes. Subscribe to the channel for more content from your boy. I'm gone.